All right, let's start over. Once again, disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Stuff is my opinion. I'm not pressing the buy button for you, but my opinion with this stuff is right more times than not. Okay. All right. So day trading, right? So what makes a good day trade? What makes a good day trade is finding opportunity in the markets. So there are many different ways to find opportunity in the markets because there are many different strategies. But the way that I find opportunity is by using levels and patterns, right? So levels and patterns is what gives me an edge or it shows me the opportunity in the markets. So you have to be able to understand levels and patterns. Those two things, having a great understanding of that is key to what I do. Um, and what else makes a great opportunity is, how much room do you think something can go once you find the levels or the patterns, whatever it may be. It's also important, since we're doing options, options are not meant to be held forever. Every option has an expiration date. So it's about how fast you think this move is going to happen. How far do you think it can go? Really, how far do you think it can go is probably even more important. So how far do you think it can go is always answered for me by the levels, right? So I do incorporate supply and demand a little bit, but for me, levels are number one. So the levels tell me how far I think something can go. So just to kind of give you guys an example of something that I'm in on a swing, but we can also day trade this today if the opportunity presents itself, is Shopify. So when I'm looking at Shopify here, when I'm trying to find my day trades, I'm looking for things on the daily and the 4 hour, 9 times out of 10. I'm on the daily and the 4 hour. And I'm looking for things that are near levels, things that are breaking patterns, or things that are like kind of like inside of a pattern, looking like it's getting ready to break a pattern. So when we take a look at Shopify right here, we have Shopify. This is a bear flag on the daily time frame. So since we have a bear flag on the daily time frame, we are looking for it to break, which it has already started doing. So you may say, well, this is the daily time frame. So how would this equate to a good day trade? Because when you think about a daily chart, it represents the entire day. So for this thing to close, it takes all the way from 9:30 to 4. So how do you know to get in? Right? So that's where levels come into play. Okay. So there are a few different things, a few different approaches that you can take to a play like this. So I will tell you a couple different ones you can take. The first approach is day trading the break of this, right? That is a more risky one, but it does provide um, more potential reward, right? The second type of entry is waiting on the break and taking it when it gets below the level, right? So if just to give you a sense of what levels I'm looking for here. Now, one thing I do have to tell you that this is a gap right here. This is a gap from 50.59. So I will put that line there all the way down to right here, which is at 48. So 50.59 to 48, 50.59 minus 48, that is $2.50. So $2.50 is $2.50 is how much opportunity you have here, right? So when you are thinking about, well, would this be a good day trade? It's all about how far do you think it can go? So when you're looking at this, you have to ask yourself, is $2.50 enough on this stock to make a profit, right? And that's key. That's a key thing on this stock because, you might not have the thousands and thousands to play with. So something like Tesla, a $2 move, if you only got like 1,000, 2,000 to play with, You could probably make some decent, but it wouldn't be, you know, as worth it in my opinion as if you could catch a move like this, which is a $2 move on this stock, right? So it is stock dependent on, if it's enough. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. What we kind of looking at here, how I'm thinking about it. And if whenever you guys have questions about anything, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat whenever you have questions, and I'll get those answered. We got some people that say can't find the link. We send it to them. Okay. All right. Saying that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So another question you will get, or that I get many times that people don't understand, and it's completely understandable how you don't understand because many people don't really tell you this. It's well, okay, well, you're saying that you find these things on this larger time frame. Okay, cool. But how do you actually go about entering this thing? Right? Because like we said earlier, the break of this thing, since this is a daily chart, are you telling me that I gotta wait all day to get in? No, because you got to think about it like this. If you already know that this thing is breaking this larger time frame pattern, right? So everything I do is based off of the larger time frame. Anything that you find on that larger time frame can be traded on the smaller time frame. So since this is already breaking here, you have the larger time frame backing you up when you come down to something like a 5 minute, 15 minute, whatever you decide to use. I personally, my sweet spot for day trading is the 5 minute, right? So if I'm looking here and I know that, okay, so if I'm put my, cursor right here, whatever, so I know that around here, around this 51.5 or whatever, it's already broken this daily flag. So all I'm looking for around these places, anywhere up in here, I'm just looking for bearish patterns. I'm looking for like rejections. I'm looking for any kind of bearish sign that I can find to take it down because I already have the larger time frame backing me up, right? So to give you an example of that, it's actually the one that I went over yesterday on live is Apple. So if you take a look at Apple right here, kind of show you how this works. We'll take this off. So with Apple right here, you can see if we take this top trend line, every time Apple has been getting up here so far, it has been getting rejected. And not to say that Apple can't break out because it definitely can, but so far it has been getting rejected, right? So you can't be too biased on one side, So coming here on Friday, I seen that Apple had got rejected here. And I actually didn't end up taking this trade. So I didn't sit there and wait on it to play out. But I actually planned this trade out and just never took it. I had my stop. You see I said stop loss if short already there. Um, so I knew that this thing had been getting rejected hard every time it had been getting up here. Right. So I understood that yes, it's at the top of a pattern, but since it has been getting rejected, I can look to go short here. And I know that this could be my stop loss simply because this is where it would be invalidated. Right. So since I know I wanted to go short here because this larger time frame, you could go down to something like the 5 minute. And if you look on the 5 minute, remember what we said, we're looking for bearish signs because we already have the bias on this larger time frame. You can see here, it just formed a simple triangle pattern and broke to the downside, right? So that was a play there. Now when it comes to targets, levels are my targets. Levels are my targets, or you can use zones, whichever one you decide to use. But for me, it's mostly levels. All right. So I wish it was something that was a super good setup. It's really no super good setups right now that I could really show y'all. except for SPY. SPY is decent, but we're still far away from where I'm looking for puts. So we can kind of talk about SPY, what I'm seeing here. So for SPY, you always want to think about what is a upside and a downside type of bias, because for every buyer there has to be a seller. So every day, for especially for SPY and QQQ, I'm thinking about, well, where is it bullish? Where is it bearish? Right? So if we're thinking about SPY, if we look at the larger time frame, let's first start off on the daily. On the daily chart, see I have daily right here. I put D for daily. I said puts under here. Now, my next level that I have is not until 426. So that same thing again. 430 to 426, that is $4 worth of potential opportunity to the downside. So I ask myself, is that enough for me to make a profit? That is plenty. That is plenty. Right? So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, well, this is what my daily says. This is my 4-hour line up like that as well. So I'm looking here at my 4-hour and I'm noticing when I'm looking here, I'm thinking, okay, well, are these levels still matching up? Is it a level in between that I need to worry about? Or is there a zone that I need to worry about that I'm not seeing? And when I'm looking here, you can see I have this level right here that still lines up, but I also have, this is where you start getting more and more confluence. You also have a zone, right? So I don't know how many of you use, supply and demand, but if you don't, it's perfectly fine, because what you will notice right here is many times a demand and a support will be right by each other. Many times. And many times a resistance and a supply will be right by each other many times. Right? So not only do I have my next level, which is $4 away under this point, I also have a zone that is right here that is telling me, okay, well, this is where I can expect buyers to be again, which is exactly what we expect, because this is what the opportunity says, how far it can go down to. That doesn't mean it can't keep going further, but this is what it's saying, right? So when we're thinking about the downside, we're thinking under 430, because that's where the next opportunity is. Could you take under this? Maybe, but we're looking for the best possible plays, right? Now when we're thinking about the upside for SPY, that's the downside. When we're thinking about the upside, we have to think, okay, well, that is a bearish case. What would be a bullish case? So as we can see right here, if I draw this out on SPY, it kind of looks like a bull flag a little bit. SPY kind of looks like a bull flag using my larger time frames. All right, so cool. I got a bull flag using my larger time frames, and I already have a 4-hour level that I got right here at 434.87. Now, you also got to keep in mind how much SPY is already up. So SPY is already up $2.45. So that is, that's pretty good. But since this is a bull flag, SPY can keep going. SPY could really keep going. So where I would look for calls on SPY is potentially, I would say, above this 4-hour level. Because if it gets above here, not only will you have broken the flag, but you will also have broken the level. So you would have broken a 4-hour SPY flag. That's one. And you would have been broken a level. That's two. Right? So just like that, we have a bullish case and we have a bearish case. Let me know if those make sense, because next we're finna get into what we look for, or what I like to look for on entries. So let me know, does that make sense, how we found the bullish case and the bearish case? And if we look here, where's our next level? Our next level that I have is 437.5, right? So that is almost $3. Again, that's almost $3 of potential profit right there. So let me know if that makes sense, because we got some more people that having trouble with finding the link. So send it to them. Let's see. Let me send this real quick. Okay. All right. Said it made sense. Yes, it made sense. Okay. He said, hey, do you wait for the 4 hour close to enter? No, no, I don't. Right. So that's what I was saying earlier. Right. So I don't wait on the larger time frame candle to close. I'm using when I'm day trading, I'm using this larger time frame as kind of my guide, my help when I'm day trading. So since I know, so think about this, right? So if you wait for these next couple 4 hour candles to close, who says that this thing can't close all the way up here? And then what day trade are you gonna have? You're not gonna have a day trade, right? Um, so if you wait on that to close all the way up there, you're gonna miss everything. So we are noticing where it is right now, and we're just trying to catch a piece of the move that we're expecting to happen. That's all we're doing. We're catching a piece of the move that we're expecting to happen. And the reason that we're always looking at larger time frames is because they give you the larger moves. I don't really care too much for catching a little 5 minute bull flag, bear flag, right? I want to catch the flags like this, these type of flags, right? And you will see me talk about those patterns on the smaller time frames. But what you got to realize is all of those smaller time frame patterns that I'm trading are built upon or building upon the larger time frame. So I'm not just searching randomly for flags. I'm not just searching randomly for triangles or anything like that. You're trading those on that time frame because of what you see on the larger time frame, right? So once we see, if I see this thing is breaking here, if I know I want to get in above this point right here, then I'm just looking for my bullish confirmations at that point. That's all I'm looking for, right? Because we're not trying to catch the whole entire move. We're just trying to catch a piece of the move. Like a 20, 30 cent, 40, 50 cent SPY move, depending on what kind of contract you get, that's going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot of profit. Okay, got a couple people right there. Let's see. Gotta send another link just a second. Okay. All right, gotcha. Okay, good. Glad that made sense. Glad that made sense. Got a couple more people that couldn't find the link. Send it to them. Sorry, Okay. All right. Should be good. All right. Are you waiting for it to break the top of your flag or your resistance line? Now, you don't want to wait for it to break the top of the flag because you're gonna miss the move. Because even though you see this, you gotta still think about what's the opportunity here. The opportunity is how far these levels are apart. So think about SPY is already up $2, right? So the chances of it breaking this and keep going today is kind of, not saying it can't happen, but it's not probable. You know what I'm saying? But who's to say that SPY can't break this and maybe go to the next level? We might have a level in between here, So we're trying to catch this around here. We want to catch it around here because if we catch it around here, it would have broken the level and the flag, right? If you try to catch it up here, you will probably be too late. It'll probably be a fake out. So let's talk about entries. Let's talk about entries and stop losses before the market opens here. Okay, so my entries and exits are super simple. They're very simple. My entries in, oh yeah, I meant to point this out too. And just to give you more, reasoning here for the take profit potentially, you don't have to catch this whole move, but potentially being up here. Note that you also have, remember I said levels and levels and the supply and demand will be near each other a lot of times. Notice that you have a supply right here, right? So notice that you have a supply right there because this was the last green candle before this nice drop, right? So you got a supply right next to a level. Okay, cool. Let's talk about entries, stop losses. Entries for me, a couple different ways I like to enter. You don't get in because it goes above a level or breaks this. That's a no-no, right? You don't get in because it breaks something. You get in because of what it's doing around the level. You get in because of what it's doing around the level. So I don't care if it breaks this. I'm not getting in until I see my type of entry, right? So my types of entries are patterns or break in retest or retest of the clouds. Now, those three things is what I look for entries. I look for retest, I look for pattern breaks above the level or below the level, depending on, where our level is. And I'm looking for retests of the clouds after a trend is already established. So let me give you a couple examples. So one example of an entry off of the pattern would be this. So Apple, we knew we wanted to take it short. So take a look at what we have here. We had the level right here, and we had the pattern. So we're already at the level. So we're not buying it up in here when it's just chopping. We're waiting on this thing to break. So that is an example of a pattern type entry, right? That's an example of a pattern type entry, right? And this may be a great example of all of them right here. Well, not all of them, but at least a couple of them. If I was in the clouds that I'm referring to are the Ripster clouds. That's what I use. I recently added this to my strategy like a couple months ago, and it's pretty good. You never want to make your decisions based off of indicators. You use it to help give you confluence, right? So when you're looking at these clouds, what you're looking for is when it's in a downtrend, you're looking for it to reject these clouds, specifically the bottom, right? So if you look here, when this thing already has an established move, it comes up to the cloud and rejects. It comes up to the cloud and rejects, right? And I typically like to see it reject this red cloud when it's at the bottom, right? Then when it's to the upside, it's the green cloud that it bounces off of. But to the downside, you want to see it reject the red cloud. That can be another type of entry for you. And this stuff, you use these clouds along with, your intraday patterns, your levels. You use all this stuff together because what you're doing here is you're looking, I'm going to put the Ripster clouds, and you can find that on TradingView, Ripster clouds. But what you're trying to do in your day trading here, you're looking for as many things to tell you take this direction as you can. So since we knew the larger time frame was saying bearish, we knew we're breaking, we already broke this pattern. Cool. If you didn't catch it right here, cool. We knew that we already rejected the top of the trend. We knew we already rejected this level. We knew we already broke bearish side to the triangle. That's three things already. So the fourth thing is you rejecting this cloud right here. So this could have been another potential entry on Apple if you was looking at that. So it's all about how many things do I have that is telling me to take this thing short, or how many things do I have that's telling me to take this thing long, right? So so those are like the entries I look for. My exits, I don't usually do my exits off of percentages, not typically. Sometimes I do. But you know, if I have a pattern, right? So I'll draw out a little pattern. Cool. So let's say we got actually I'll start off with the break and retest, because that is the most simple. That's the most simple. Let's see, where is it? That's the most simple stop loss you can have. So a break and retest would look something like this. Boom, maybe come here. You broke, you're not chasing a break. There's a candle or a couple candles that will come back and retest, and you're looking for it to go up like that, right? Cool. Now, where would your stop loss be? So your stop loss could simply be under the retest candle. So if this thing was to form a bullish hammer right here, my stop loss would be under this level or under the retest candle. Because the retest is the most simple stop loss you can have, is always just under the retest candle, simply because you know under that point is where you can look to probably be bearish again, maybe. Not saying that it can't keep going and fake you out, but that would be the stop loss. So is for retest, for me, it's like a one candle stop loss most of the time. It has to be something really specific that I'm looking at for it to not be a one candle stop loss. So that is for the retest. Retest is under the retest candle for me. Okay, so for patterns, this is what a pattern would kind of look like a lot of times. As we got the market open, that's cool. That's fine. I don't usually trade opens anyway. So the pattern would look something like this. You know, we're looking for it to do something like this and kind of do that. Cool. So if you get in on the break of a pattern, a stop loss for me a lot of times is simply if it gets back into the pattern. Simply. All right. You can also, like I said, you can do percentage stop loss. That is fine. I just typically don't. That's just me. Right. So early here we're gonna be looking at SPY, and I'll have a Shopify to see what they're doing, because we are in the swing on that, and it does offer a good day trading opportunity as well. But we'll have a SPY for right now, because we already got a couple of levels that we're looking for on SPY. See what we got. And I'm on a 5-minute right now. I'll do the same on SPY, on the Shopify. If you got any questions, definitely let me know whatever questions you have. Like I said, any question you got, there are no bad questions. I promise you. I've asked every question you can think of. So definitely ask questions. That's what I'm here for. If anything is unclear, if it makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. What we're looking for, why we're looking at it. Let me know what's going on. Okay. So one thing too is what a lot of people don't realize about me, or you guys know if you're in BWSO, if you're in my personal group, is I am very patient. I'm very patient, right? So I don't just get in things, just get it, right? So we got a plan already. We got a prepared plan, execute. We prepared because we found this spot, and we knew why we was looking at the upside. We knew why we was looking at the downside. We planned because we know what we're looking for On the entries, we know what we're looking for on the exits, right? So now all we got to do is execute. But when you're trying to execute, you don't know when the execution is going to come. You just got to be ready to do it. So this thing could not trigger any of these levels, right? You got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to see what's going on. And if y'all see, I'm gonna look for anything else on my watch list that may be moving as well. You know, gotta be patient. Just to make sure I understand, we find prep levels and big patterns on larger time frames like daily, but when the trading day starts, switch to the 5 minute to enter. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yep, exactly. And I do use the 1 minute sometimes if I'm looking for like a scalp in the morning, you know. If I'm looking for a scalp, I may be on the 1 minute like early until like 10. But with a move like this, I'm not really looking to scalp, but I'm looking to catch a larger move. Do you have your contract already picked out, or do you just go in the money? We gotta talk about that too. So contracts, obviously contracts are sometimes depending on your account size. But for me, I typically like to play weekly contracts when it comes to day trades. I typically like to play weekly contracts on SPY. I'm conflicted with 0 days. I like 0 days, but they are so risky. If you get caught in consolidation with a 0 day, it's not good. Um, so I like 0 days too. But for SPY, I typically like to get 1 or 2 days away when I'm day trading. And when I'm trading a stock, I typically like to get weeklies. So um, but as far as in the money, out of the money, you can go in the money. If you are going out of the money, I suggest don't go too far out of the money, right? Because you'll end up getting killed by theta. So definitely, if you ever go out of the money, don't go too far. You might say, well, how far is too far? Right? There is not a set delta and theta that I really like to look for because a lot of times I get multiple contracts. Um, so really anything for me like with above 30 delta for me, I like those type of contracts. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're trading, if you trade SPY, you trade like 1 or 2 day expirations, your delta is probably not going to be high. Your delta and your theta is probably going to be out of whack because you're trading them short-term contracts. So that's another reason why you got to have a plan because you don't want to get caught in no chop. Um, but I like to trade, weekly contracts, and I like to be either in the money or really close to the money, at the money. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep it there. That way, if I do get caught in consolidation, I'm not getting killed as bad as someone who has a out of the money contract, like something like Shopify. Get in the money, get in the money on Shopify, or you want to be able to get right at the money, you know. So kind of a waiting game here. Right now, we're a little bit closer to the upside play than the downside play. So we're being patient. We're being patient. So this is really the waiting part. So any questions y'all got, drop them because all we doing right now is waiting. So waiting and looking to see if anything else that we might have missed. I see Bitcoin. Bitcoin is close to 30,000 today. That's crazy. So you got stocks like Riot and Mara. Mara is up almost 10%. Riot is up 10%. So you got Riot. They are still down so much. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So what we got right here, we're getting close to the level. Getting close to the level. So as of right now, look where we are. As of right now, We broken out of the flag as of right now. This line didn't change, so it should look the exact same on the 4 hour right here. We should be breaking, right? See right there, we're breaking, right? So now we're saying, how do we trade this on the 5 minute? That's what we're looking at. So as of right now, I'm just looking to take this to the upside. You know, some people may look to play the rejection. You know, I'm just looking for the upside for this type of play right here, right? So I'm looking for it to break and either retest. That's one thing it can do. It can break here and retest. Cool. We could form a pattern right below, right here, and break out. Cool. Or we could consolidate right here where we at under the level breakout. So either one of those is perfectly fine with me. If we start going to the downside, I think I would leave SPY alone and look to trade Shopify. I'm already in Shopify puts right here. But you know, if I know I'm looking for SPY's downside to really, really start under here. But the downside for here is going to start before SPY gets to 430 if the market continues to go down. Because SPY is still $4 away from this. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. If y'all see anything that's moving or anything like that, definitely let me know. We'll take a look at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I said, I'm only one set of eyes. I'm not perfect. So if you see anything that looks good, definitely let me know. To the AVGO. Let's see what AVGO is looking like. Okay, so I can already tell you, because I know where these levels are at right now. I think AVGO is like 925 is where you're kind of looking at, somewhere around there. Yeah. Yep. So I already got 923. So that's where I'm looking to take AVGO. I ain't gonna lie. 923. Because above this point, let me show you this on AVGO. This is crazy. On AVGO, this is a weekly bull flag right here. Insane. This is a crazy weekly bull flag. Right? So if this thing breaks the highs of this right here, which it hasn't been able to break since June, yeah, it's probably gonna be gone. One thing I don't like about AVGO is like the same thing why I hate Netflix and Roku for the same exact reason. So they actually have like low floats. So with low floats, that's why you can see AVGO drop like $2 in 15 seconds, $2, $3, $4 in a few minutes, like because they have low floats. You're not gonna see something like Apple drop like that. You're not gonna see something like Microsoft drop that quickly, unless it's some kind of catastrophic news. Um, so let's see. Shopify, what we got right here. So the lower Friday, let's go ahead and start looking at Shopify because it looked like it might go to the downside. This was the lower Friday right here, right? So I'm going to say low of day or low of. I'm just put low. Cool. This is the low of Friday right here. So I'm gonna say low. Below this point, you got the gap right here, right? So I'm looking for anything, any reason to take this thing short below this point right here, because I know under that is the gap. So I'm looking for a break and retest right there. All of the criteria, we're looking for it right there, right? So it's always about what is this thing doing at the levels. The levels don't matter. The levels are psychological, right? None of these levels are quote unquote real, right? They have value because we give it value. So I'm looking for any kind of bearish signal under this point. And we can even throw up the clouds right now and see what we got going on. Because one thing too, one thing that I do want you guys to get from this is how do you use, SPY or QQQ if you look at that. I do take that into account as well. How do you use those to also help guide you, right? how to use those to also help guide you. Because if we know that if SPY doesn't break this, then we could come back down. Then we know that if this thing is rejected, that means it's gonna come down, which means that we could be looking for bearish type of plays. If this thing breaks out to the upside, and we know the market could break out to the upside, we could trade this to the upside, cool. Or we could be looking for things that have bullish setups. Let me know if that makes sense. You got to always be able to understand overall market direction to also help you determine what would you like to day trade. If I know that SPY can make a $10 move above this point, then I want to be looking for things that already have bullish setups. I don't want to be looking for things that have bearish setups if I know SPY is going to be bullish above this point, because yes, it could turn bullish, but you already want to be playing the things that are already bullish or playing the things that are already bearish. Something like this, it's already bearish. So if SPY breaks down, it's just going to follow suit. Whereas if you try to, let's think of something that's been bullish or that's been holding up, something like Meta has been holding up while the market has been going down. So that's not saying that you can't trade puts on Meta, but it's going to be a lot harder because they haven't been down. So I hope that kind of makes sense. You got to be able to understand overall market direction. So it's a waiting game. Like I say, we just sit here, we talking, answering questions, seeing what we think. That's how we doing. It's just a waiting game. Got 42 people in here today. That's amazing. 42 people. That's crazy. Right. Let's see what a couple stocks doing. Or Microsoft. I'm just kind of cycling through, but these things didn't already have a setup, which is why I'm not really watching. Not really a whole lot of things that already had a setup today. Um, let's see something else. Tesla. Tesla's up today a little bit. Let's look at QQQ. So QQQ still has this level down here, all the way down to 361. So we'll see. But it's a waiting game right now. Just waiting, being patient. That's all you gotta do. We already know exactly what we're looking at. We're just waiting on it now. See, nothing else is really moving on the watch list that I'm seeing. Apple's negative. Everything else is really kind of positive except for Apple as far as tech goes. See what we got. Looking through the watch list, don't see nothing else that's catching my eye. Being patient, being patient. A lot of times, something like this, what I would do. This is another thing too. I hate sitting staring at the screen all day, so I hate doing that. So something that I would do is to actually just set alerts. So whatever app you use for your alerts, you can put something like trigger level is kind of right here. So I would say, sometimes Spot can move kind of fast. 434.7. That's a decent one. I'll set an alert on Spy. Price above 434.7. Right. So something like that, when it's just ranging, kind of how it is now early, I would say this thing and just wait for the alert to go off. So you're not sitting here looking at it all day. Or if you're busy, if you work, things like that, a lot of times I'm on the go, so a lot of times I have to set my alerts and kind of do what I'm doing until my alerts go off. see. I'm just consolidating on spot. So just waiting, waiting. I think so. We just waiting on the move. Waiting on the move. We already got what we're looking at. We're just being patient with it now. Let's see. Still just consolidating on spot. See how we're right here. Now, this is an interesting setup right here because this is very similar to, I don't know if you, some of you might have traded this a few weeks ago, QQQ that broke out of a, when it broke out of a inverse head and shoulders, it was doing the same exact thing that it's doing now. So it's consolidating right here at the breakout point. Now, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be opposed if someone was to say, well, although we're under the level, we're consolidating right here at the breakout point of this, which is the 4 hour break. So I wouldn't be opposed to taking a risky entry here if it breaks out. Now, you still got to worry about this, but I wouldn't be opposed to that. Um, so if I'm looking at some contracts right here. Let me see. Let's see what we would get. Could you go 0 day? Yeah, you could. You could go 0 day on something like this because you're expecting a larger move. If you wanted to play it safe, you can get what contracts you like to get. Um, but for me, I'd probably go 1 or 2 days out. Probably look at a 435 or 436. I mean, I'm expecting the move to go to kind of go to 437, but it is already up $2. But you got to also think about this is a breakout on a larger time frame. So these things can run further than you think they can. Um, so I wouldn't go any further than 436 though on the contract. Like I said, I want to do 1 day away or 2 days away. Mm, I'd probably look at 2 days away just to be a little bit safer because SPY is already up $2. QQQ is up quite a bit today as well already. So I go a little bit safer, but I wouldn't go, don't go past 436. I wouldn't do that. Let's see. Being patient. Let's see what the clouds look like. The clouds probably are right here where it's at right now. 436 calls for 2 days away. That's decent. That's decent. I wouldn't be opposed to that. So, and I'd do a stop loss probably if we was to, depending on how we close on this candle, because we're still just kind of chopping, not really breaking out, and it's not giving you any volume either. So that's another thing to take note of. You want to see this volume spike up. You see that volume spike up, I mean, you know, people are in. Right now, volume has done nothing but decrease. Every single candle, volume has decreased so far. So kind of want to see, that volume come in. That's the thing about trading. It's so many different things you got to take into account. You know, that's why you got to find out what makes sense for you, and you got to keep doing it. You know, but if you're starting to learn to trade, it's easier said than done because there's so many different ways to trade. So just being patient here. Then obviously a rejection. Rejection wouldn't be good for SPY. Typically, want to see it hold this thing here. For upside, I really want to see it hold this triangle. So all right, we at 10 o'clock now. Hopefully we see some movement start to come in here. We had a little bit of volume coming in, but If you look at the type of candle that you got, kind of like a doji candle right there a little bit. So it's a lot of indecision, which makes sense because of where we at right now. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Look like it's might try to break down here. See if there's anything else moving. All right, so looking at it right now, it looks pretty decent. Mm, let's see what QQQ looks like. Hey, QQQ looks like it want to try to push highs. Let's see, Microsoft is at the highs. So I'm looking at this thing right now. I think it looks pretty good. Now, like I said, you can do a stop loss, percentage stop loss. You do however you want to do it. I'm looking at it right here. Looking at this. You do 435 or 436. Let's see. I really want to see a little bit more volume, but this is a riskier type of entry simply because it hasn't yet broken that 434. There you go. So it's breaking this right now. All right. So should have probably gotten it right there. So what I want to look for right here, I want to see this next candle. I want to see what this next candle does. I would love to see this next candle kind of push above and form a bullish retest. So we've broken out of this. So the best entry probably would have been right there. That would have been decent. Um, we broke the level right now. So I'm looking for some type of bullish sign to put me in. Now, you could be risky and take that, but I'm not being risky on it today. I'm waiting for the retest of this level right here. That's what I'm looking for. You see, you got some volume coming in, so that's pretty good. All right, cool, cool. Right at 10:13. Let's see if we get something here. Apple is still negative. QQQ is up $3. Amazon up $2. Microsoft is up $6 today. So that long term is looking really good for that Microsoft. I had got some December contracts a couple months ago. Well, that was in September, I believe. So that is looking good. All right, so perfect. We are over 435 right now. I want hopefully this thing closes above right there. Perfect. Now we're looking for a break, which we got. Now we're looking for a retest. Look for a retest of this level. Stop loss going to be under the retest candle. Now, you don't know if it's going to retest right here, or it could retest in a couple candles, but we're looking for the retest candle. Um, just a little bit safer entry. The risky entry would have been down here. Kind of how we were saying earlier, I wouldn't be mad if someone was to take it down here because it breaks the larger time frame flag right there. But this is more confirmation right here. So what you're kind of looking for is a dip under that level and for buyers to push it right back up. For this, I'll put up QQQ. Let's see how that's moving. Be right there at the level before it stayed to really kind of close, kind of bullish, preferably. I think it looks good though. Let's see. Let's see how it ends up closing. Keep in mind, keep in mind on this that this is a 4 hour. It's a 4 hour breakout. It's looking good for sure. I want to be patient on it. Be patient. Let it come back down to you. We're at 10:19 right now. We're just waiting on. Want to see this right here. That's what I'm looking for to see. That's what we're looking for. You don't gotta be in a rush. Right? We're just waiting on our entry. Waiting on the entry. Which that would be perfect if we get this retest this level. Because now you got the top cloud. The top cloud is catching up to where SPY is. So we get this retest, that would be even more confluence. You'll retest you already broken out, you'll be retesting the level, and you'll retest the cloud. I got stopped out of the Shopify. My Shopify swing got stopped out of that. So I'm still looking for that thing to come down, but the swing did not play out. I would have hoped so. Um, so I ended up losing 40% on that swing because I swung weekly contracts. So still watching out for that Shopify, but didn't play out this time. Stopped me out. Put my stop a little bit above 52. Waiting on this retest. And this is the hardest part. The hardest part is being patient. You already see this thing going up. That's the hardest part. You'll get the FOMO, but you just gotta realize you gotta stick to your plan. It'll be better for you in the long run. Mm, let's see. Let's see. Hope we get this retest on the next candle. Just kind of waiting on it. How many people got FOMO right now? Who got FOMO? So I raised my hand. I got some FOMO right now, but you always got to be disciplined. Yeah. Hey, me. Yeah. Exactly. But hey, it is what it is. You gotta wait. You gotta wait on your setup. Gotta wait on your setup. Didn't take the risky entry. Didn't take the risky entry down there when we was talking about it, but I think we'll get a good little. You took the risky entry. Hey, there it is. That's good. That's good stuff right there. He took the risky entry, so he's already up quite a bit. Yeah, that risky entry down here was that was perfect this time. It says, how much consideration do you give RSI? Do you use the default settings for the clouds? So for the clouds, this is my settings, and I found these settings on YouTube. The 5, 8 is my settings right here. If you want to screenshot it. The first one is the 5. But for the rest of them, here it is. You want to screenshot. The first one is the 5, the last one is the 200. No problem. She up 30%. Oh man, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that because that would have. Don't tell me that. Yep, it's a small gap to the upside. Yes, it is. Yep. Come on, Spy. Give us some kind of entry. 436.4. The next one I see is this daily level. It might be something in between. Okay, I would say yeah, it would be around that. It would be around that simply because you got, this that was around the highs of yesterday, well, Friday, and you got, like a zone right there. As Spies probably don't look like it's gonna give us an entry. So if you took the risky entry, yeah, you got that one. I don't know if Spy gonna give us a good entry here, but the risky entry is probably one today. Let's see. They were 15%. Yeah, y'all took the risky entry, man. I should have took that one today. I was here trying to talk and explain it. By the time I'm sitting there explaining it, it's taking off. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. But that's how you find it. That's your reasoning. It was already breaking out of the 4 hour. So the fact that it was consolidating right here is what you can expect. Um, so good stuff if you took the risky entry, man. I was saying trying to explain it so I wasn't locked in on it yet. Looking for this retest. If we get it, this thing just keeps making higher highs, man. We might get left on this one, unfortunately. Mm, that was perfect, bro. That was perfect. Yeah, 436. Man, yeah. We probably not getting a retest. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just running. Thanks for that play. Oh yeah, no problem at all. Man, I'm salty about that. Dang, I missed that trying to explain it. But hey, as you can see, man, goodness. Sometimes it takes off without you if you look for that retest, but I should have just went ahead and took the risky entry while we was talking about it because I mean this is the reason that this is happening is simply because of what's happening here. This is why you want to always consider the larger time frames. The reason that this move is happening because we're breaking out on the 4 hour, right? So that's why I was saying the risky entry. I wouldn't be mad at someone for taking the risky entry because it's consolidating right here, which is perfect because this is where the breakout point is. So it's no coincidence that you're getting a move like this. This is how you catch. This is exactly how you catch the home run day trades. You have to find the move on the larger time frame. And then you're talking about the opportunity, or the opportunity here. Well, the opportunity for this risky entry, this was over $3. But from this point, you still have over $2. So there you go. Is A, you missed it, but you blessed us with the play. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to explain it. Trying to explain it, miss my play, man. Hey, that's how it happens sometimes. At least y'all was able to understand. It will come back to you because you were helping us. I hope so. I don't think it's gonna come back to me though. Not today. It's all good. Let's see. What else is moving today? So Spy is now at $4. QQ was up $4. Apple was down 16 cents. Amazon's up $2. Let's see what Amazon and Google looks like. Amazon, got Google, Tesla, Microsoft looks good. Meta, you got AMD doing pretty well. Okay. Man, yeah, Spy just took off. Ain't no way. Mm. So that was perfect. I mean, that's how I catch these day trades. And it's these type of moves happen almost every day. You just have to know what you're looking for and why you're looking for it. You want to find those larger time frame breaks because these is what give you the larger moves, right? This move isn't just happening just because this move is happening because it is breaking out of the flag on the 4 hour, right? So you always gotta understand what's going on. But this was perfect. Um, Never gave us a retest, so the risky entry was absolutely insane today. But I think we'll keep looking for some because what time frame do you see the 437 level on spot? So that comes from the daily. That came from the daily. Right here. So this 437.5, I had this from here, right there. I don't know if we might have touched a little bit in the past too, maybe. Yeah. So had a few touches here from around a few months ago. Then if you go to the past, we got a few more touches. So that's where that came from. All right. So if we take this off now, and this is another reason why you have to have a downside and a upside scenario. So you see how we was talking about both, right? So imagine if a person came into the day only thinking about puts under here, but they're missing out on all of this, right? They're missing out on that upside because the upside looked just as good as the downside, right? So now you got to change your perspective on spot. Now spot looks like we're breaking out of a bull flag. Okay, cool. So we're breaking out of a bull flag right now. We still got this resistance coming up around at 437.5. We have a supply and a level right there. Um, so what I would do here is you want to take this into account, but you also have to start thinking about, okay, what has bullish setups right now? And some things that I would possibly be looking at is something like AMD because AMD right here has been holding this uptrend. So that is a good sign, right? So something that has is on the uptrend right now. It's on the trend right now, and it bounced off of it today. You know, if SPY would have broken down, this would have been probably down here around 101, 102. So that is something that you can look out for. Look at something like SOXL. I seen someone put that in the chat earlier. If we look at SOXL and we draw this trend line here, it's holding its trend line. And I can almost guarantee you that NVIDIA probably looks the exact same. Let's see. Yeah. So NVIDIA actually opened below the trend line and pushed back up. So, you know, yeah, that's the thing about day trade. You gotta have that upside and that downside kind of perspective. You can't just be one-sided on either way. Man, missed that one. Missed that one for sure. Still got like 20 minutes though. So what I would be looking for now is you're getting a little close up here, which you see where spot kind of rejected a little bit at. We're at the high of Friday. Now, you could mark this if you want to, possibly if you wanted to. Um, what I'd be looking for now is possibly some type of pattern, right? So some type of pattern around here somewhere, um, to take it up here. So you could look for that as well now. So what you could see, let me show you. Right. So that was absolutely perfect. That was absolutely perfect. Now you got this pattern right here. Well, not a pattern yet. You got an uptrend right here. But you know things don't just go up forever. So you could see something like that. All right, cool. That would be a flag. You could see it do something like this. Um, like that. That would be a pennant pattern. So I would look for one of those to form kind of next if this thing is going to keep going, right? So we know that the opportunity is all the way up to 437.5. Now you got to adjust the opportunity. So relative to where it is now, what is the opportunity? What is the risk to reward? So we still have, relative to where it is right now, still got like a dollar and 15 cents somewhere around there. I mean that's still enough to make a decent profit on spot if you trading some sooner expiration contracts. That's still pretty decent. But that's kind of what I'd be looking for now. You don't want to chase when you see stuff like this. Don't hop in. Don't hop in when you see stuff like this because I mean the probability of it to keep pushing is lower than it to pull back. And you know if you get caught in a pullback, you're probably going to sell. You know, so um yeah, we got like 20 more minutes, 25 minutes. You know, I don't mind going over a little bit. How do you calculate the dollar and 15 cents? Oh yeah, so it was like I took relative to where it was. So it was at like 436.35. So I know my target up here. All right, check this out. So I know that when we was talking about this in pre-market and when the market opened, we was like, okay, so I know I'm expecting it to go from here to possibly come here because this is the next level and this is the supply up here, right? So I'm like, okay, well, the initial move did not give me a entry as far as the entry I was looking for. Cool. So I'm like, now you want to expect some type of pattern here. Okay. So relative, if the pattern forms right here around is 436.35, we're still expecting it to come here, possibly if we get a bullish pattern. That's only $1.15, you know, compared to the $3 that you had here. So that's how we calculated that. Let me know if that makes sense. But man, that was absolutely perfect. Said yes, it does. I thought you were using the field tool to calculate it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I wasn't using the field. I've actually never really got into the field. I think that's probably like the only thing that I've never really experimented with. I've never really experimented with the Fibonacci retracement. I've never really got into it. I've used everything else. I've used Bollinger Bands. I've used VWAP. I've used everything except that, I think. But it definitely does. I know some people that use it to perfection. So understand what we're gonna get here to form. The AMD 4 hour got a morning start. Let's see. Let's look at AMD. Man, it looks pretty. AMD looks pretty decent to me. It's just say you don't use pre or post market though. Okay, bet. Yeah, I like to keep the pre and post market on. I like to use it. Sometimes I use those pre-market levels. It's just dependent on the situation. But um that's what I like to look for, man. I hope, I hate that we really should have got in right there. Dang, I regret that a little bit now. But everything is it's easier said than done. We was looking for this retest, a bullish retest right there that we never got. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. Still we're gonna be on like 25 more minutes. Let's see if we get some type of pattern to form here. Once again, this was the high of Friday, so it's no surprise that we are kind of rejecting here a little bit. We put the clouds on, we're probably way above the clouds right now. So let's see. Yeah, we're still above the clouds. So I would kind of look for something to probably form here. Some type of flag probably would be ideal. But congrats if you went ahead and you had caught that risky entry. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. That was an absolute perfect play. You had zero drawdown. That was amazing. And sometimes it happens like that. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Let's see what Microsoft if Microsoft has anything because Microsoft is up a lot today. So it's kind of looking the same as Spy a little bit. Had that really nice run. Microsoft actually doesn't look bad. Next level on Microsoft I got is right around 338. Got Google. Looks decent. It says this was extremely helpful in practicing discipline and sticking to the plan. I definitely needed this. Oh yeah, no problem at all. I hate that we didn't catch that that move, but I was sitting there talking about it. I should have been saying get in, then talking about it. But yeah, I'm glad. Biggest thing I want y'all to give me this is the process of how to get the trade. How do you find that trade? How do you know, how far am I expecting this to go? Like, what am I expecting from this trade? No matter what strategy you use, I think the way that I love to, kind of think about trading is kind of just for anybody's strategy. No matter, I've helped people that use a totally different strategy than me. Because the biggest thing for me that really helped my trading was the mindset. Why are you looking at this trade? Like, what about this chart is telling you that you want to day trade this? You know what I'm saying? So I that's what I really want everybody to really get out of this, the most. Do you ever go to the 1 minute when waiting on the retest, or you stick to the 5 minute no matter what? I 9 times out of 10, I'm on the 5 minute no matter what. 9 times out of 10. Says there will be more. Yeah, it will. That's true. That's true. But man, I would have loved to catch that one. That one, that one was perfect. So now you look at Google. You also got Google right here in a flag as well. So you got Google breaking the flag. So if Google holds this flag today, this is something you can look at tomorrow on the day trade, simply because you're breaking this flag on the 4 hour, right? And you got looks like a supply right here. There's a discounter right here. So depending on where Google closes at, this would kind of be the target, which that's only $2, but that's a lot for Google. Yeah, missed a small one there. Yeah, it's all good. That's good stuff, y'all. That's good stuff. So yeah, we just continuously kind of inching up a little bit here, kind of just inching up a little bit. Oh yeah, she caught that risky entry. That's perfect. Oh man, she caught that risky entry. That's perfect. It says, what are your thoughts on Meta? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's see. What do I think about Meta? Let's look at the daily. I know Meta is actually on a huge breakout right now. I know it was at least. So first of all, Meta, I'm gonna even go to the weekly right here. Go to the weekly, take off these clouds because you don't need those. You don't need that. Look at the weekly right here. So for Meta, this is a huge, and I say huge, pennant pattern. If we take this pennant pattern and think, well, how far is this thing saying that we can break out? This is literally jumping off the screen. The breakout is saying 450. That's what the length of the pole is saying. Would that take us to all-time highs? Yeah, that would take us way past all-time highs. So the poll is saying over time. Now, over time, because this is a weekly chart, so you got to think about that too. So it took from March all the way to July to get there. So it's saying over amount of time, it's expected to stand to go to 450. Um, so from that aspect, larger time frame, bullish. Now we come down to the daily. Let's see what we're doing. So on the daily right here, this might not be bad at all. So if you look right here, this is a supply zone right here in my red. This is a supply zone. I think I got this on the weekly. Let's see. Yeah. So this is a weekly supply zone. So it was you know, no coincidence that it got rejected there last week. If we look on a daily though, one thing that I will say is you do have a level right around here. You got a level right around there at that sorry, at that 318. So it is encouraging to see that it broke this level and that it's trying to push back above. So I think as long as you're kind of holding this, and if you're in longer like contracts, kind of as long as this thing holds above 310, I think it looks good. But especially if it's holding this 318, I think Meta looks good. It says so with Meta be good for a swing. I think if you're getting some contracts that are like far, if you're getting some contracts that are far, then yes. Short term, I don't know. It's kind of iffy. But long term, oh yeah, for sure. For sure. If you get something that's like months away, I think that would be pretty good. I just got some news to my phone that Apple just got upgraded to positive from mixed. So I wonder how that will affect Apple here, if it will at all. Apple's kind of just inching up. Let's see what SPY's doing. SPY is still growing. So SPY is just inching up, inching up, inching up. So we didn't get a no retest today. We didn't get a retest today at all, which is fine because this was the entry right here. I don't think there's anything else that has a setup. SPY's up $5, so that's quite a bit. Um, Microsoft is up $7. Meta's up 3. Square is up $1. Bitcoin is up $1,000. Netflix and Roku are positive now. So yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. I'll probably be on till like 11:10. I'll leave the last 10 minutes. We're gonna 10, 15 minutes. We're gonna ask questions. So at 11, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everyone off mute, and you can unmute yourself and ask a question or whatever you want to say. Um, that's what we'll do at 11. So we got like 6 more minutes, and we'll do that for like 15 minutes probably. I really want to get some live questions, get some feedback on what we had today. Hate that we didn't get our entry, but you know, it's okay. It's the process that I really want y'all to get. Because when you see the process, you can replicate the process. So today just showed you that the exact thought process. It works, and it works every day, pretty much. That's why I win at the rate that I do. It's because of these larger time frames. That's why I always preach that. Let's see. So we can really, I don't think Spy it ain't gonna pull back and give us no entry. So we can really go ahead and we can do the questions, feedback, all that stuff. So I'll stop sharing for just a second. And let me see if I can change this thing to, well, if you can raise your hand, if you can raise your hand if you got a question or feedback, anything like that, we can kind of start like that. So everybody kind of trying to go at once. So let me know if it lets you raise your hand. I hope it does. Let's see. We got one hand trying to find it. Trying to find it. We got 44 people here. That's amazing. Let's see. How do I? Okay, gotcha.
Good morning, RJ. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, good, good. Oh, okay. Something came up on Zoom. I don't know how to answer. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. This was really great. And, if you happen to do another one of these, um, I'm definitely on board for it. And I like, the cause that like this is going towards. So, or if you just, yes, so I was just basically saying I'm definitely, if you do decide to do another one of these live trades, um, I'll definitely be interested.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think I'll do another. I think I'll do another one
Hmm.
next month. Cause like I said, yeah, it's the cause I was doing it for. Cause I'm doing my first annual toy drive. So all of the proceeds from whatever the cost is, just all of it's going towards that, trying to make it as good as possible. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Hmm. Definitely getting value on both ends. You're able to do something and give back to your community, and we're also able to gain these gems. So greatly appreciate it.
Oh yes, I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for your support.
Hmm.
We got Miss Powell. Miss Powell here.
Good morning, RJ.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm trying to figure out. I'm still kind of lost on defining the not the support and the resistance, but the supply zone. So can you run over that right quick for me, please?
Oh yeah, yep, for sure. Let me share my screen again. So so how I look at the supply and demand is it's kind of using that a little bit of the same thought process from like the patterns a little bit. Not like with patterns in a sense, you're looking for the run up and then you're kind of looking for it to pull back, and the pullback kind of forms a pattern most of the time. Now, with supply and demand, you're looking for that run up or that push down, but you're looking for where did it start. So
Mm.
just like support and resistance, it can be found on any time frame, but the only difference is the supply and demand is like it's an area. It's not a specific point like a level is. Um, and it can be found on any time frame, just like support and resistance or the levels. So if we kind of look here, we're looking for the big up moves or we're looking for the big drops. And the thing about
Okay.
the supply and demand is you're looking for the candle before the move, the opposite colored candle before the move. And typically you want that to be like the candle before. So kind of like on the 4 hour right here, I was talking about this area here. You got this big up move on SPY that was from 426 and it pushed. You got another little red candle here, but it pretty much pushed all the way up to 436. So a $10 move on SPY. Um, then you're like, okay, well, where did this start? Started right here. So you take that candle before, and this kind of tells you that this is where the buyer stepped in. So it's kind of like success leaves blueprints. And the
Mm.
theory with the supply and demand is just like they call it like the smart money concepts. And I'm not the smart money concepts expert, but that's pretty much as far as I go as the supply and demand. This basically is telling you where the people with all the money bought at, because people like us can't move. We can't move spot. We can't move the markets. We're retail traders, as they say. Um, so this is where the institutions, banks, all that. This is where they was buying. So the theory behind this is you're waiting until it gets back here to buy again where they bought it. Because a lot of times these things will come back to these zones and bounce, or get back to these things and push back up. And you use this the same exact way as you do levels. Like if this was notice I have a level here. This is something you'll notice too. The levels are pretty much always right by the zones, because levels are made from zones. So this thing could come back in this zone, and you might be like, well, okay, well, where am I expecting it to take it? You could, if you buying a call up in here, you would expect to sell this at the next zone. Now, just like levels, you can use different time frames for your zones. Like this is a 4-hour demand. You could, like, this thing could have, if this thing comes back down, it could leave a supply maybe somewhere at 430, maybe. Just that's probably where it would be, because this is the level that it would break down from. So you could possibly take this from this demand at 426 and sell it at the supply at 430. That's just like a scenario.
Thank you so much. You summed it up. You made it real clear to me when you said it's where it started, where the run started. So that kind of summed it up for me right there.
Oh yeah, perfect. That's perfect.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Let's see. I think we got another hand somewhere. Nope, we got it. We got both of the hands. Okay. Anybody else got any questions or anything? Like I said, I'll be on for like 5-10 more minutes. Want to get all these questions out the way. If people have questions, like I said earlier, man, I really appreciate everybody so much. Like y'all don't understand like how crazy this is for me. Like this is insane that this many people are on here live trade with me. That care about my opinion on this stuff. So that's so cool. All right, we got Mr. Greg right here. Let's see what we got.
Hey, good morning, man.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right, bro. Just saying, bro, there's gonna be another one for you, man. Another trade waiting. Don't be upset.
Oh man, yeah, them ones like that, man. They're the ones you be like, goodness gracious. Because on a normal day, I would have took that risky entry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that breakdown was pretty good because I like you said, some people have, when you ask people have FOMO, I had the itch to get in because I thought I was gonna miss a trade, and then I saw it starting to reverse, and then I was like, damn, I got in too early, and now I'm all nervous, I'm all over the place. So it was good, to have a little breakdown of that, and if you do have another one of these, I'm definitely tapping in, man, because it's, the cost is good too, and this is not, I would like to see if we could maybe do like a bundle, maybe 2 days in a week or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We might do that on this. We might do like 2-3 days straight day trade. I would just have to see how my little work schedule is for the week. That would be the only thing. So I'll definitely try to. We'll do that next time. Get a couple days straight.
Yeah. This was definitely pretty good, man, because I like the breakdown and everything, need a little bit more of that. Especially,
yeah.
like I said, I was a little bit risky to get in and all that with, I feel like that's one of the things I'm having issues with. I see something and I probably get in too early, and then when it starts reversing, now I'm like scared I might, lose a lot of money, and now I'm getting out, and then it does the move because that's what I saw it did. It did move. I got in. I got in on that trade because I saw a setup and I got in, but then it tapped into a zone. I'm like, oh crap. And I see it coming down and I'm like, I'm out. And then it made the move that I originally was going for.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna happen. It is gonna happen. I would say the thing that's gonna always mitigate all the risk is having that stop loss. So as long as you always got that plan, you can take every single risky entry you want to. As long as you got that plan that okay, I know if it gets here, I'm done. You know, because truthfully, as far as like risky entries really give you a better it gives you a better potential for profit, but it also is better for stop losses because if you're waiting on a retest, sometimes that retest candle, if you wait for it to close, it could be 20-30 cents above uh you know from the top of the candle to the bottom of the candle. Whereas sometimes if you get a risky entry, then you're right there at the level already. So sometimes the risky entry is really better. So, but it's just always about the risk management. That's all it is.
Yeah, I understand, bro. Like I said, I was just like trying to fight that because I've been having issues with that a lot when getting in and then getting that reaction coming back down to my area. And now I'm like fighting because of the contracts, depending, like you said, depending what contracts you get. So you might get the original move up, but when it comes down, it feels like you're in the red already.
Right, right. and it'd be hard to hold that red, especially with the shorter contracts sometimes.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Like how you like fought that, to get rid of it, and so you're not falling into traps like that?
Yeah, so that's kind of why I like to use the confirmations because if you a lot of times with the like riskier type entries too is you have the higher probability for some drawdown because you don't have all the confirmation saying okay, well all the buyers are in, everything's lining up. So you could sometimes get in and you could get caught in a pullback. And that's what can happen sometimes. So the only way to really try to not get caught in a pullback is to kind of wait on break and retest. For me, the break and retest is it's almost no drawdown because you're pretty much using a one candle stop loss. So you know exactly when it's done. Like you know exactly when you're out.
All right. Tapping in next time, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. You too. We got Rob. Let me see if I can get you unmuted. There we go.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm how are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
So I remember I told you earlier that I didn't use the pre and post market.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is that? And is it something you think I should definitely do, or something that it's not really mandatory?
So I use it, but there are some people that are really good traders that don't use it at all. So I can't really, say like, oh, don't use it, but I use it just because sometimes it can act as a entry for me. Now it could be perfectly fine, if you just want to use the key levels for entries, like that's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes for me it acts as a entry. So let's say like if I see uh that SPY, the pre-market high is at 434, and then the next level is at like 436. Then that 434 can act as a trigger level for me to start looking at it to see what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
sometimes if you're not using the pre-market levels and the SPY kind of opens up and you're like, well, the next level's at 437, then you're kind of really you don't have a whole lot to base it off of as far as entry, unless you have like a different kind of entry. But it just works like that for me because of the type of entries that I do. So I don't think it's bad at all. It just depends on, what you like to enter on.
But you think it could help though, possibly.
Yeah,
Entries. Okay.
for sure.
All right. Yeah, I might try to implement that and see how it goes. Maybe probably for the rest of the week or something. Try to get used to it.
Oh yeah, yeah, perfect. It'll definitely help. I guarantee.
All right. Thank you, man.
No problem at all. We had some really, really good questions. Got some really good questions. Anybody else with any Any questions at all? Let's see. Got Miss Jennifer Birch here. Miss Birch, how you doing?
Hey, RJ. RJ, this was really good what I got. I had a meeting that I got cut out. I had to cut into, but is this going to be recorded that we can watch it later?
Yes, yep, this is recorded.
Okay, fantastic. Where will we be able to find this?
So if you guys just message me. I wish it was a way that I could like already drop it, but I have to wait for it to get done downloading. So just message me for the recording and I'll put it on a private YouTube link. So all you have to do is click the YouTube link and it will send you straight to it.
Fantastic. Thank you again.
No problem at all. I got some really, really good questions. All right. So last thing I want to do, like I said, I really appreciate all of y'all for tapping on. If y'all would, only thing I ask is, please leave me some kind of like review thing on the little WAP page. That helps me out too a lot. Just like, any kind of like review, testimony, like whatever you had learned from today. If you learned anything, feedback, recommendations, anything like that, please leave a review on the little WAP page thing. That's like where the little link was, and that would help me out a whole lot. So I really appreciate y'all. We got another question, Mr. Gray here.
Yeah, but I forgot to ask you, any recommendations, or do you have any like free trading journal or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So the recommendation as far as what you mean.
For trading journal.
Oh yeah. So you definitely want to have a trading journal. And I used to have a trading journal that was physical. Uh and I cannot find it, man, but it has stuff from like 2019, 2020. I have no idea where it is. I would say the things that you want to put in a trading journal, you can make this thing like electronic. I actually have one. So I have a template for a trading journal. Um, just message me on Instagram or whatever, and I'll send you the link to that thing. So
Uh,
I got you on the journal. Perfect.
yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to get something like to just start off.
Oh yeah, yep. Definitely message me. I can get that sent to you, your email.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
You want me to hit you up on Discord or Instagram?
Either one is fine. Either one is good.
All right.
Oh yeah. So I'll put the link to the little thing right here. Actually, I can go ahead and put the link to the little journal as well. So I'm gonna put the link to the little page, little white page, whatever. If you guys could please leave, a review, whatever, that would help me out a lot. Um, that would help me out a whole lot. Or let me see, I also have I'm pulling up the trading journal as well. I'm about to put that into the chat. Now, all you got to do for the trading journal is all you have to do is just click file and then make a copy. That's all you have to do. So let me pull it up right now. And I will show you guys how to kind of use it real quick as well. Okay, so here we go. Trying to get it pulled up real quick for y'all. This journal is going to help you a lot. And I know some of you already have it because I gave it out with the I think it was the last workshop we did in August, I believe. But here we go, right here. Share my screen. Okay, so I just named this thing that RJ's easy entry calculator. So this basically, this is gonna stop you from taking bad trades, right? And the reason that I made this is simply because I used to be a type to just take trades, just take, right? So now I really only look at like one thing at a time, typically. So kind of go over, you can put, whatever initial starting amount you want to put, if you're starting with 500, if you're starting with 2,500, whatever. Um, and these two are going to automatically calculate for you depending on other things that we'll talk about here. So you want to start off, you put the day, the ticker you're looking at trading, why you want to, trade it, what are the market conditions at the time, all of this stuff, because you're going to come back and look back at this thing at a later date, right? So you want to be able to understand what did I see at the time, right? And also with journaling this is going to help you understand what strategies work for you and which ones don't. So if you put, if you see over the course of time that you played eight bull flags and you lost on all of them, maybe you're not good at trading bull flags. You might see that you're good at trading triangles. You might see you're good at doing retests. It depends, right? So this is going to help you also see what you're good at. Because the thing about trading, like I always say, you don't got to trade every kind of way. Just look for your setups and you will be perfectly fine, right? So what entry area do you plan on getting in at? What do you plan on doing your stop loss? Where do you plan on taking profit? This is going to stop you from taking a bad trade, because if you can answer all these questions right here, I guarantee you're going to really like this trade that you're going to do. If you can't answer these questions, then you probably don't really like that trade. You're going to be like, well, do I really want to trade this? I don't know. All right. So after this part, this is what you fill out before you even get into the trade. So you could fill this out the day before, you can fill that out pre-market, whatever. After you get out of the trade, this is where the accountability comes in. So it's self-accountability. Where did you actually get out? This is where you plan to get out. Where did you actually get out? Right? Did you stick to your stop loss? Did you stick to your take profit? Right? And then you can put any notes. How was you feeling during that trade? Did you follow your plan? Simple yes or no. Right? Cost per contract. And this is the cool part that I programmed it to do right here. So this part right here, it will take, it automatically assumes that you sold, all of your contracts here. But like you could say cost per contract, let's say I paid 1.5 and I got 4 of them. So that tells me I spent $600. If I sold them at 1.6, then I made $40. Let's say I sold it at 2.25. It automatically tells me what my profit and loss was, and it automatically gives you the percentage that you made here. And it also updates right here. It tells you your total P&L, right? So it does all of that for you. You ain't got to do the work. All you got to do is tell it where you got in at, how many did you get, where did you sell it at, right? So that's all you got to do for it. It automatically calculates your P&L, all of that stuff for you. And if you took a loss, let's say you sold at 1.22, right? Then that tells you that you lost $112 and you took an 18% loss. It calculates everything for you. Once again, it calculates it here as well. So you don't got to mess with none of that. All you have to mess with up here is the initial amount that you start with. What else? One other thing to note here is that it? I think that's really all you got to do. But yeah, it's very simple, and it really keeps that accountability for yourself. All you have to do is fill this out, and it's going to keep, coming down here. It keeps coming down, and it's separated by month as well. So you can do it every month, or you can keep one on one page and just keep going down and just keep filling out the date. I just wanted to make it to where, it fits different people how they want to do it. But I'm gonna put this link in the chat, and all you have to do once again is you click file and you press make a copy. That's all you got to do, and it'll send it to your Gmail, or if you don't have Gmail, whatever, you can press download, and you want to make it in Microsoft Excel. Here we go. So let's see, share. Let's see what I gotta do here. How can I share this? Copy link. Let's see. I'm gonna drop it in a chat right now. Okay. Y'all let me know if you can see the you see the link. I hope my message thing isn't messed up. Let me know if y'all can see it. All right. So everybody got it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Good. Oh man, I think I messed up the link. So I see it saying that you got a request. Hold on, let me change that. Hold on. Y'all don't worry about that link because it's saying you got a request. Let me give you another link right here. All right. Try that one. Try the new link right there. That one should work. You shouldn't have to request. Yeah, I see some of y'all popping up. There y'all go. I see y'all popping it up. There we go. Hey, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Cool, cool. All right. So last thing I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna try to drop the little WAP page thing in there. Like I said, if you please leave, any kind of review, anything like that, that would really, that would really help me out a whole lot, guys. I really appreciate all of you so much. You really just don't understand how much I appreciate everybody for tapping in, helping the cause for my toy drive. Man, it's insane. Insane. I'm about to put the link in there to the WAP page right now. You may have to sign in. You can sign in with your Discord thing too. So, whatever. I'm about to send a link in there right now, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Like I said, this will be recorded. You want to record it, just message me on what is it called? Instagram or Discord, and I can get you the link to the recording. Just give it some time to upload to YouTube. So I'm about to drop that link right here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Got the link now. Okay, that's the little link to the thing. If you could leave a review, that would help out a whole lot. But I really appreciate everybody so much. This thing is recorded, and I hate that we didn't catch that thing, that spy bag. It took off without us. But hey, like Mr. Greg said, it'll be another. The next live trading when we do, we'll probably do a couple days in a row. So that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. But besides that, that's really all I got for today. I hope you was able to take away something from this thing. I appreciate all y'all for hopping on, and I hope y'all have an amazing day. I'll see y'all later. Peace.